Greetings, my beloved Master of the Universe. I hope that you have enjoyed your previous lesson, have learned from it, and are ready to proceed. But before you dive into the many steps required to release yourself from the karmic wheel of life, let me first remind you of what karma truly is. I say remind you because you already know all that there is to know, and I am simply here to jolt this memory back into your present reality so that you can fully attune with your higher self and finally release yourself from this karmic wheel of life. Karma is shrouded in mystery, and yet the true essence of what karma is hidden in plain sight. One need not look anywhere else but within to find the true answer to what karma is, simply by observing their own actions. For karma is not at all what we have been taught to believe it is. It is simply a cycle of cause and effect. Hence, everyone will cause certain situations to appear in their lives due to the actions that they have taken, thoughts that they have thought, which in turn generated specific energies and vibrations in order to pull various experiences into their lives in accordance with the law of attraction or karma. However, whilst everyone presently occupying Earth will have some form of karma, not everyone will actually be stuck or be part of the human karmic wheel of life. The human karmic wheel of life is the creation of the matrix, creation of the human ego, creation of those who have interfered with human evolution and thus caused the veil of forgetfulness to thicken to such an extent that human souls forgot not only who they truly are, but that in essence they are absolutely free. Karma is not any form of punishment by God. This belief that God would ever punish you for anything that you have or have not done is absolutely false. God, as you understand it to be, loves you unconditionally, no matter what you do. God loves you just because you exist. This is highly important for you to understand as you go along in this journey of karmic release. Everything and anything that you wish to experience in this life is the result of your own making. In essence, it is you who is punishing yourself by refusing to let go, by continuously reacting the same scene over and over again, and it is up to you to stop and finally begin a new act filled with love, light, and freedom. If you've read my book, you are familiar with this information, but if you have not, to understand the karmic wheel of life, we must go back to basics. Who are we? First and foremost, we are all souls. Souls, which are like energy blobs, as I like to call them. We are energy beings that decided to experience various lives in order to learn from these experiences and expand our consciousness further still. We are souls who like to have fun and create various experiences for our own selves just to have fun. The same as you go to a party or out with your friends or simply read a book or go to the theater or act in a theater or play a video game, all to have fun. The same with souls. Our souls like to have fun and therefore create various experiences for themselves in order to do so. So there you have it. We are souls who like to have fun while having various experiences, souls that have all originated at the source of all that is. Many come to me for a healing and they ask where they're from. Many times I receive answers such as Andromeda, Arcturus, Ram constellation, Pleiades, Hathors, and all of that is absolutely true. However, this only defines the etheric reality where our souls have spent many incarnations in and keep reincarnating to over and over again, such as human souls who keep incarnating over and over again on Earth. These are the places that we identify with because these are the places that many light workers have come from directly to Earth. These are the places that we long for. These are the places that most light workers call home. Right now though, I am going to talk about the human soul, and if you do not resonate with this, it only means that you are not from the human origin and in fact are a volunteer that has come down to Earth to assist humanity and all of Gaia in the ascension process. Eons ago, in a land far, far away, in a different dimension, and in fact, a different universe altogether, since many universes exist, and it's an illusion that there is only one universe, there lived beautiful souls, souls that have become very advanced, learning how to utilize energy to their own advantage. These souls have begun to manifest various realities in order to experience life as more than simple air bubbles, but to take form, shape, to be able to touch and feel and sense. Many souls, upon manifesting bodies for themselves, have begun to incarnate, take possessions, be born into these bodies. However, all the while knowing exactly who they are and keeping all the memories of their past lives intact. What they have experienced is akin to us going from baby to teenager. Our body has changed significantly and we are having a completely different experience, and yet we still remember being a child very well and think nothing of it. Here you may be asking yourself, but what about all the previous lifetimes where these souls would have husbands and wives, children and parents? They would incarnate elsewhere and still remember. Wouldn't it hurt? And the answer to that is simple. When we are growing up, we have various relationships. These relationships end and we go on to find new romances, new relationships with other people, all the while remembering that at some point we spent time with another, and yet we are perfectly able to start a new relationship and be very happy there. This is the same thing. Even though the souls have remembered exactly who their partner was from the past life, they did not think much of it and continued on their journey, as all understood that this is the way of life, the way to experience everything that there is, and that all are simply having an experience, and eventually all will be led to one. All will find their partners, all will merge together, and all will become one again. And there was nothing to it. By remembering everything from their past lives, these souls were able to quickly learn from previous encounters, mistakes if you will, lessons, etc., and accumulating this knowledge, move up the ranking system of the soul. Many do not believe that there is a ranking system, saying that there aren't any classifications in the etheric, and that is absolutely true. However, at the same time, there is. These are not considered by the soul to be anything of the negative. It is only a measure of knowledge, experience, and understanding of the universe and energy and the way that it works. Every single soul, no matter what level it is located on, is extremely important to the source. After all, once a soul has passed through all the stages of evolution, it becomes a super soul. It will be given an opportunity to merge with other such souls and become a teacher, ascended master, angel, archangel, etc. of this particular universe. Of course, there are numerous options for a soul once it passes through all the stages, including becoming God of another universe. And yes, this idea is very difficult for some to comprehend, but we are all gods. We all have a God particle in us, and God has a particle of us in it. And so, as the time went on, and the souls have manifested for themselves various case scenarios, they have become bored. It is then that they have come together to brainstorm and to decide what's next. Since they have already experienced absolutely everything imaginable, they have decided to create a new type of reality, a completely new understanding of life, whereby they would create a planet and a vehicle that would function in a particular manner in order to not only experience world in 3D, but also where they would completely, fully, and undeniably forget who they are and why they are there. They would be plunged into a labyrinth where they would test their strength and devotion to the source, their strengths and their ability to go through this labyrinth with full amnesia and still find their way out. These souls wanted to experience being in a place where they could create anything that they wished, but not remember why they are there. Challenge would become for them to remember, receiving only various little hints from time to time, so that a spark of light would push them into remembrance. And so, from all over the universe and galaxies, various etheric and non-etheric beings were called into action. They were called to create a planet where these beautiful souls would descend into their new playground, have fun, and enjoy this new game called Earth Life. Many upon many engineers of the human bodies were called into action. Many etheric beings who knew how to manipulate the energy and pull together various molecules and atoms in order to create physical bodies were called to step forward and create. And create they have. Everything that you see around you, including your own body, including Earth and the stars, is engineered by none other than your own higher selves. It's tough to acknowledge that it is so. Many run from this idea and are overcome with fear and responsibility. I certainly hope that you are not one of those few and will continue to delve further in. I remember an experience that I've had not too long ago. I was talking with someone through chat. We weren't talking about anything in particular, but somehow this person was giving me a very weird vibe. Later on, when I stopped talking to this person, I was pulled into this vision of myself in the past. I found myself sitting in a classroom of what appeared to be college. There I saw that person sitting in the classroom with me. Before me, a professor was talking and showing on the blackboard, which wasn't a blackboard, but a computer screen, a giant computer screen, that Earth is composed of so and so, and that if you use this energy and this together, you will be creating a volcano. If you use this or that, you will be creating a river. He kept saying that it was very important for all of us to understand and remember this information very well, as we will soon be graduating and utilizing such knowledge in order to create a new world. There were many upon many souls, all eagerly assimilating this knowledge into every fiber of their being, and then the vision faded. As Archangel Metatron puts it, the world as you see it before you today is a genetically, or rather etherically generated version of the true existence of your very own selves. The world as you're experiencing it in the present moment of your time, of your reality, is nothing more than a dream, a giant leap in consciousness of your creator selves. The world you're seeing before you is a giant capsule of time and space, encapsulated in the vivid imagination of your higher selves and your souls. For the world as you see it today is the product of your own desires and your own imagination. You, who is listening to these words, are the designer of the life that you are presently upholding. You, who are listening to these words, are the one in control of your reality, and, as such, in the present moment of time, it is you who is allowing yourself to experience joy, fear, power, sickness, sadness, laughter, hatred, love, success, failure, abundance, respect, and so on. Each and every day, as you awaken to this reality, as you open your eyes, the eyes of the vessel of time and space, you surrender to the duality of this extraordinary world. For in truth, the world that you are experiencing at this very moment in time is the most extraordinary creation known in the universe thus far. As the tentacles of your own higher self reach down and touch the very heart of your vehicle, you are awakening to your divinity and the understanding of self. And so, many souls were called to collaborate on a gregarious project that was the talk of the entire universe. Many have volunteered to come to Earth to experience being human, to experience the veil of forgetfulness. Yes, the veil of forgetfulness has been put into place upon the unanimous vote of all the souls who would participate in this experiment. And so, upon the physical manifestation of souls, the souls that were already in the physical bodies have come to Earth to build various structures, to teach the newly formed humans various technological advances, since the souls that would incarnate into human bodies would not remember anything at all. They would assume that the ones that were showing them all of this information were gods. In the ancient times of Atlantis and Lemuria, and much prior to that, human souls would start out knowing only the basics of how to make food, how to procreate, etc. Each soul would choose a body with an ego, the ego that would protect it. Each was equipped with all that they needed in order to flourish here on Earth. Each time a new colony was formed, the riches of the heavens were placed upon Earth. Each time humanity would receive the gift of knowledge, but not of all knowledge, only of the knowledge pertaining to their existence in the present moment in time on Earth. Each time a civilization would reach a certain point where humans would finally discover various energy secrets and how to manipulate said energy and use it for evil, the civilization would be destroyed. It would only be destroyed if the scales of evil would tip far enough as to cause unbalance throughout this galaxy and the neighboring ones. the destruction of bodies did not excuse the human souls from leaving the earthly bubble. They had to return to Earth in order to really learn the lessons that they have set out for themselves. There was only one way out of this labyrinth: the remembrance of self, the remembrance of the source, internal balance, forgiveness, understanding, and unconditional love for all, unity with another, whether consciously or physically. In essence, the only way out of here for all of the human souls is to unite in the understanding of unconditional love. The idea of oneness is easy to understand. We all depend on each other at all times. Even if you are living in a remote place and do not feel an actual impact of reliance on another, what you are experiencing is an illusion. If you look simply at the food that you eat and think, truly think where it has come from and how much effort on everyone else it took in order to get it to your table, from the farmer that planted the seeds, to the bees and other insects that were part of the growing of this plant, to the earth's soil, to the sun, water, wind, to yet again the farmer who has collected this food, to the person who has packaged it, to a distributor that finally delivered it to the store, to the store owner who had a brilliant idea to open this store, to the workers who have stocked this product, to the cashier that has checked you out, to finally you who walked through the store to pick up that package of tomatoes, to the car that you used to drive there. The list goes on and on and on and on. So in essence, we are already united. Only the unification right now is not based on the real truth of unity and assistance, as the idea of separation still prevails. If you have read my book Mission to Earth, this information is already very familiar to you. But if you have not, and are interested in learning more about how Earth has come to be, I recommend that you pick up a copy. Once again, what I want you to know and understand is that not everyone is stuck on the human karmic wheel of life. We all have some form of karma, but not everyone is actually stuck on the human karmic wheel of life. If you are identifying yourself as a starseed or coming from the angelic realm, elemental, or any other realm but the human one, then you are not stuck on the karmic wheel of life, but have ingrained the notion of karma into your subconscious belief system, which now needs to be eradicated from your system. Everything in this course applies to you, except for the release from the karmic wheel of life with Archangel Michael, which I will talk about later. Therefore, you might not be stuck on the karmic wheel of life if you come from the stars, elemental or angelic realms. However, you may still have accumulated what you believe to be karma, which is a set of false belief systems and ideas about who you are. So, if you hail from the stars, you will be introduced to another form of clearance of your subconscious belief system. But if you feel yourself to be human in origin, if you feel yourself to have been stuck here for a while, you will be introduced to a karmic release from the karmic wheel of life with the assistance of Archangel Michael at the end of this course. Hence, this karmic release is to release you from the karma that you have accumulated on this planet, and to help those of you who are actually stuck on the karmic wheel of life on getting off of this wheel, so that once the time comes to transition into another state of being, you would not feel the pull to come back to Earth to relive the same events over and over again unless, of course, you wish to do so. Not too long ago, I read someone's article who says that our galactic brothers and sisters will come down and remove all karma from us. I must put my 2 cents into this. That is not possible. I work with light workers daily, and removing someone's karma is not only taking away their free will, but is simply impossible. Whenever I would ask the guides, angels, and the galactics to help me remove someone's karma, I would always hear it over and over again. That is not possible. You can negotiate to get someone out of some contractual obligation that they have made in previous lifetimes with various dark entities, providing that they have almost completed the contracts. You can remove someone's karmic containment units, but you cannot remove someone's karma. The only way to remove karma is to understand it. So when people come to me and say, I want to cut cords with this person or that, the only way you can truly do that is by forgiving that person and by asking for forgiveness, by forgiving your own self for being in that situation, and by understanding the reasons for that person's behavior. Most of the time, when you start to think about this, you are going to find that out of all the mess that you think that this person made out of your life, you were the one who was responsible for 50% of it. But more so than that, you will see that these people whom you keep blaming for your troubles are actually the same people who have done something good for you. That boss that you hated and you had to quit your job and find another has pushed you in the direction to change your life by creating an atmosphere where you simply had to leave. A friend who suddenly stopped talking to you has given you an opportunity to look within and ask the question, in which way did I behave to manifest this experience? We can run from one relationship to another, but until we stop and fully examine our own selves and understand that most of the issues we are faced with are coming from within us, and those on the outside are simply there reflecting everything that's happening within us back to us, we will keep facing the same situations over and over again. Just think about it. How many times have you quit on some relationship with someone, be it work, love, friendship, etc., only to find yourself in a very similar situation with other people involved? It would seem that everything should have changed. But until you learn the lessons involved, until you fully examine where the problem is coming from and what is causing this to keep happening, the issue simply won't go away, and so won't your karma. So you will keep being faced over and over again with the same challenge, same people, or different people, but the same situations. So the only way to change your life, or your karma, as many of us understand it to be, is to learn from your previous mistakes, which aren't mistakes, but incredible experiences and opportunities for growth. Understand where everything is coming from, and most importantly, stop blaming the other person. We are so used to blaming everyone around us. It makes us feel good for 5 seconds max, and then we still have to face our own selves and learn to our horror that mostly all of this negativity is coming from us. Because if it wasn't so, then the situation wouldn't bother us at all. Remember, by blaming another for your trouble, what you are really doing is you're giving away your own power. Because you believe that someone else holds the key to your life and your happiness, which is absolutely false. So, Keeping all of this in mind, let us then dive into the steps involved in not only changing your karma, not only releasing yourself from the karmic wheel of life, not only erasing the outdated modules of thinking patterns, but finding freedom of thought. In the next lesson, we will take the first step. In the meantime, please think about everything that you have just heard and see the PDF with today's Inner Works homework. And when you are ready, I will be here waiting for you to continue.